On Monday, October 30th, 2006, we began the Global Warming Student Speakout, and in a week's time, 3 of my classes had completed brainstorming, collaborating, compiling, and voting on our top 10 choices. Although the instructions for the project suggested that the assignment would take 1 to 2 days to complete, it wound up taking us 5 class periods before we then entered our ideas into the shared document with the other schools from the western U.S.
What do you guys think? The last one?
So, after a week of using this application, here are a few random observations. Random observation number 1. Did this activity help my students learn more about global warming issues and solutions? One student said it gave her an awareness about the seriousness of the situation and it got the group involved in taking a step about it. Another student said the assignment was worthwhile because he'd just finished a unit on conservation and geography and he knew what the problems were and could now apply his new knowledge to this assignment. Random observation number 2. Students still need to be taught how to collaborate. You just can't toss the software to them. There's still this mentoring that needs to happen. One group worked really well, and the student said, and I quote, "This past week has been pretty kick-awesome because it's been a lot more interactive than the normal things we do in this class." And yet another student said that he liked the concept, but because he was in a larger group of 7, it was much more difficult to collaborate and communicate. People ended up working over each other, he said, and erasing the work of other people. A smaller group would have probably been better, he said. Random observation number 3. How clear and easy were the project instructions to follow? For this one, I'm going to go to one of my technophobes. This one girl wrote, "Well, besides the fact that this was done on a computer, it was actually pretty interesting. I hate computers. I'm what one would be called not technically sound, but even I figured this out, so I believe it was somewhat successful." And one final random observation. How likely is it that the students are going to use Google Docs again? When the next collaborative activity was introduced, it comes from our textbook, The Concise Guide to Writing, I gave students the option of using pen and paper or using Google Docs on the laptops. 33 out of the 42 students there that day, which is 78.5%, chose to use Google Docs over pen and paper. Although, one of them admitted that she was in part using it because laptops are fun. Still, my overall impression is that in general, the students will use this software again.